What in the world is happening, YouTubers? It's a beautiful day here in Sugar Creek, Ohio, Tuesday, about 5 o'clock or something like that. And I had a busy day today. I was actually speaking at a food show, and that was really fun. I did some training for a bunch of people who own, bakeries and bulk food stores and stuff like that on marketing, and had a great time with them. And but just it's funny speaking at an event like that a couple times. I come home feeling like I've worked 8 hours. It takes a lot out of you, at least mentally, and so it's fun to come home, relax, talk to my YouTube friends, and just want to do a little video today and show you what I've been playing around with this weekend. I've been trying every weekend to have a project or two that I'm working on. And ta-da! This is a cool knife that I made. I felt like I haven't been forging for a while, and so my forging tools are speaking to me. And I got a nice couple pieces of W2 steel from Aldo at New Jersey Steel Baron. What a great guy. I mean, I called up there, ordered steel. He talked my ear off, so friendly. Got steel sent out to me, and one thing about his site is I found it's good to call him, because sometimes he has stuff that doesn't get up there, and his website said there was no W2, but I called him and I said, Aldo, do you have anything laying around? Sure, Tim, and next thing I know, I get this beautiful steel in the mail. And so I forged this knife. Sheath is really tight. There's no retention problem here, but as you know, especially with big knives, after a while, sheaths get loose, so I try to make them extra tight. And this is cool. I'll show you this first, but I've been making this style of sheath. It's just something, I kind of came up with on my own. And what happens is, I don't like bulky leather sheaths. You can see this is pretty stout material, but it's real narrow. And if you've seen some of my videos, you've seen I make sheaths like this with the belt loop that, pointing the wrong side, with the belt loop that's flat against, and when this rides on your hip, it rides right up against it. I don't, those sheaths that have kind of a big loop and your knife's flopping around, I'm not into that. So this really keeps it on. And then what's cool about this keeper is, as you can see, it wraps around the knife, but you can have it on your belt, and this slides through the belt loop. And so your belt's behind it, and it provides extra retention. It's really cool. Comes around and snaps like that. And when you want to take the knife out, you simply pull this snap, and then you push this like this to give yourself a little bit extra room while it's sitting on your belt. That way when you pull it, you don't cut through this retention strap. But I really like this design. I don't come up with a lot of tremendously original things, but this certainly is one little wrinkle that I came up with that I'm really proud of, and I don't see sheaths like this. So anyway, you can see nice sheath. And then the knife, this is so fun, man, how this came out. You can see that W2. I actually triple quenched this knife to get, and tried to get 3 hamons, and you can see I was mostly successful. This one down here, you can see, runs off the blade right here. That's not super desirable. That can possibly create a problem, with making a brittle spot there. But I chopped the heck out of some wood with this, and, nothing wrong happened. It, seems to be holding up nicely. But, man, there's all kinds of hamon action, going on there. You can see in my maker's mark. Some people have asked me about how I put my maker's mark on knives. It's obviously not etched. And someone said, man, you have really clean punches. Well, I don't punch it either. I'm going to do a video on it, but I use a tool called a pantograph engraver. So it's actually an engraving tool, and I engrave with the diamond engraver, my name, my maker's mark, T. Troyer, on my knives. And then, some of the ones that I put Sugar Creek Forge on, I use sandblasting to etch it on. But you can see this is so cool. I left some of the forging dings, in the knife, just kind of old-timey looking, and just really, really sits in there neat. You can see, too, how, finely ground this knife is. pretty thin edge. It's almost a full flat grind, and then tiny bit of a convex on the micro bevel. Maybe not. Maybe it's a convex micro bevel, but very sharp. I won't cut paper or whatever with it for you, but yeah, trust me, it will cut it just fine. And so I love too. If you can look, you'll see I've forged copper ferrule, and that turned out real nice, and a copper pin. I'm kind of on a copper kick right now. It's just, something different. And then you can see this piece of curly maple is just gorgeous, man. This thing is just really, really nice. And I am happy with the way that turned out. It just fits in the hand really nice. A friend of mine says, it kind of looks like an old single-action pistol grip. And I thought, man, you're onto something there, because it does a little bit. But I'll tell you what, that just fits so nice in the hand. My only regret, I wish I would have made this blade about maybe 2 or 3 inches longer, because I'll tell you what, this handle and the balance of this knife will handle it totally. It's a little more than a 3/4 tang. I mean, the tang really comes back far in this handle, and pinned with that copper. And then I used liquid nails, a product called Liquid Nails. I filled up the handle with it, and it just really, really feels good in the hand. And then, the package is just very traditional looking, but I think, kind of understated and elegant with that curly maple. I made it so enough the handle is out where you could, grab it like that and pull it out of the sheath. So I like it. I'll show you a couple pictures. I'm real interested to hear what you think about this knife. W2 is kind of cool. It's a older steel. Anything with a W on it is classified as a water quenching steel, and really brings out a great hamon. So hope you enjoy that. Couple things too. As you can see, I have this piece of steel behind me, and this is, see if I can get it up there, ABL. That's for my buddy Gavco. He loves this steel, and I love his knives. He's a great maker. And I thought, you know what? That crazy Russian guy, he's not really Russian, but, it's fun to call him that because of his accent. But that crazy Russian guy, he knows what he's talking about. So I'm going to work with this ABL, come up, with some cool knives. And, a lot of I do a lot of forging. I do a lot of high carbon steel knives, but I do stainless steel knives too. And so I'm going to fool around with this and see what we come up with. So anyway, everyone have a great evening. And I'll show you some pictures here of the Guardless Bowie that I forged. And stay tuned for some cool stuff coming up made out of ABL.
Yeah, fucking said,